with the baseball swing, I know there's a lot of controversy between like baseball swing versus softball swing, but if you study a high level baseball swing and a high level softball swing, it's the
Yeah,
same.
the same.
So
It's the same
yeah,
swing.
yeah, and like we get a lot of like softball coaches, especially kind of up here in like in BC, like think that it's different. And it's like,
Right.
maybe at a lower level you can get away
Right.
with a different swing, but if you want to be a high level, it's literally the same. Like the physics
Exactly.
don't change on
No.
uh on that. So I kind of want to get your take on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you hit the nail on the head there. High level softball is equivalent to high level baseball. For example, Otani throws 100 in the major leagues. Well, the top pitchers in Division One softball they throw mid 70s, which is equivalent to 100 miles an hour. Because in baseball, you're throwing from 60 feet downhill. From softball, you're throwing from 43 on a flat surface. So it's the same. The underhand versus the overhand matters too, right? So the underhand throw in softball, you're going to get more rise. That is legitimate rise. In baseball, if you have a guy who's throwing hard with high spin rate, it may look like it's rising, but that guy's still throwing downhill. So in softball, you want a flatter swing versus baseball. You can get away with a little bit of downhill, and the movement is much more erratic. I like to compare it to when I'm talking about baseball versus softball. I kind of like to compare it to driving. Baseball, some pitches you can kind of see the shape of the pitch before it happens. If you're facing a guy with the slider, you can kind of see the spin and you see it come out the hand and you see it out the hand versus with softball, everything's erratic and late and everything looks the same out the hand. So it's like when you're driving and you're coming to an intersection, you can kind of see the flow of traffic versus with softball, it's like you're driving on the interstate and everybody just hits a sudden stop. So that's what I kind of like to kind of compare it to kind of paint the picture for people that don't quite understand.
Yeah, that's a good analogy because coming from somebody who has just been playing, softball for the last couple of years, you can recognize a curveball, whether it's with the spin or release point or whatever, a lot easier. Whereas like rise balls are one thing. First of all, like I think they're impossible to hit. Like you just can't hit them. Like they look like they're right down the middle, and
Yeah,
you're like mid swing, and all of a sudden it's at your eyeballs. You're like, well, that's impossible. So,
yeah.
and then same with like change ups too. Like I've never been so far out front on a pitch ever than a guy who's throwing like hard and then throws in like a change up. It's literally just like a loopy thing, and you're like
Right,
reaching. So
right,
it is.
right,
I don't know if that's just like me not having the experience and seeing pitches only for a couple of years, but it is
right.
it is hard like to
No, no,
recognize
100%,
pitches.
100%. We have a girl on our staff now. She doesn't throw the hardest, but she has the rise and she has the change, and she is impossible to hit. When she's filling it up and commanding her pitches, she's nearly unhittable.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you can't see the shape. They all look the same out of the hand, and then it's just on you. So yeah, it's a tough combination of pitches to hit. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, if you go to like you said, Otani, like if you go like a 100 mile an hour ball to like drops down to like 60 or like
Yeah.
it's tough. It's a fun game though, like playing it. It's so much quicker. Like I play shortstop, so it's like, baseball, you pick up a ground ball, maybe take a couple pumps, fire one over there. Softball, you got to get rid of it now,
No
especially if
pumps.
you got somebody fast, like you got to get that out of your glove
Oh,
quick.
yeah, she's safe. If you if
If it's a
you
high
if you don't
chopper, it's
look
like,
safe, she's safe. If you hesitate at all, you
yeah,
got to get rid of it. Yeah,
yeah,
for
you,
sure.
you can't bobble it at all. You got to get rid of it like now. So that's kind of what I like. It's just the game is just so much like quicker. You got to like be like that. But yeah, I love it. Like I've since playing it, I've grown a lot more respect for it. Because come hearing a lot of baseball guys like how say how easy it is. And it's like jump in there. Like there's that video of like Jenny Finch pitching against Pujols,
I
and
love that video.
yeah, it just kind of proves you got like the best hitter in the world against like the best female pitcher. It's like he got lit up. So it's like it's not
Right.
as easy as people think. So